Shalom, Apostle. Truth, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shalom, Bashem, which is the food of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh, the Father, and the Son, Yahweh Shai. And I have to say that because you got certain guys that would say they'll use the name of Christ, Most High Christ, bless. IUIC is famous for that. Fopi, you notice when you go to any of their videos, I don't go to too many of their videos, but the videos that I've checked out, they'll say Most High bless. Most High doesn't mean anything. Most High is just something that's high. You know, the Most High one, that's not the name of the Most High or the Lord. His name is Yahweh, the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. What we notice is people that the spirit jumps off of them, they don't say the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He might say Christ, he might say the Most High. So the name is very important. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, Obey them that have the rule over you, for they watch for your souls. This is Hebrews 13, verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves, meaning come up under them, for they watch for your souls as they that may give account. Account to who? The Most High. See, we're set up to teach you the truth, the 100% truth. And if we teach you anything contrary to 100% truth, then the Most High, we got to answer to the Most High, to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. I wanted to start at the 13th verse. You know what? Let me go ahead and read that. Let me start at 12th verse. Wherefore Yahweh Shai also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered. The people are talking about Israelites. Suffered without the gate. Let us go forth, therefore, unto him without the camp, bearing his reproach. For here have we no continual city, but we seek one to come. You know, we're pilgrims on the earth, for lack of a better term. And the city that we're seeking for is a kingdom of heaven. This is not our rest. This is not our place. We're not supposed to get comfortable over here. You know, you're going to live under the roof, you know, live a certain life, but you're not supposed to, you know, really become like multi-millionaires and stuff like that and just live good. Because I guarantee you, you do that good, you're not going to go out and do this work, especially if you get paid off. And we have a lot of enemies among us outside of the camps and inside the camps. I keep saying this. All the camps have been infiltrated. That's not just us, that's some other camps too. You get guys that are next to you wearing the fringes, reading, you know, pulling out precepts on fire, but it's an act. You have a lot of infiltrators in the camps. So you got to be careful who you cool with. You know, you letting brothers into your houses, and you know, I did that with me and the apostles. I had a love for the, you know, the brotherhood. We had a lot of different guys from different states in the beginning come out to New York, and they came to my house. They went to Apostle Gabar's house, Apostle Rhymelot's house, and certain other brothers. You know, we put them up. But you know, we've found out that a lot of these guys became disenchanted, and they fell out, and they came against us. So, the scriptures speak about not letting everybody into your house. I'm not going to read that, but somebody can put it up in there. So you got to be careful as to who you deal with. And if you do get together with individuals, just deal with the scriptures. Just deal with the scriptures. It says, 15 verse, by him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise. So what is our sacrifice? To do the work. That's the sacrifice. How do we praise the Lord? By going out there, doing the sit downs, videos, out there on the highways and the byways. Which the Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians, that this is foolishness to the Most High, by the foolishness of preaching. In other words, the Most High, he could snap his fingers and make everything happen. But this is his movie. He's the great producer and the great director on high. And he said, I'm going to have these guys go out and teach Israel. And the Israelites are not going to, most of them not going to accept them. And then I'm going to save the ones that do listen and become, teachers and so forth. And the ones that don't reject it, I'm going to destroy. But before that happens, the Most High said he has to send his men out to tell the people, including the Edomites, including the other nations. The Edomites, the reason why Edomites come up against us and attempt to demonize us is because what we say. We say that you guys, Edomites, were the Israelites, led by, Vocab Malone and others, and their job is to attempt to debunk everything that we teach, that we say. Like his latest video, which is going to come up later today. What is it called? I'm not going to go to it, but it's something to the effect to completely destroy the whole Deuteronomy 28 thing. So he's going to go into it. So I'll watch the videos. Others of us will watch the videos and we'll dissect it, what he says, and break it down the right way. When you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it's clear that it's talking about the Israelites. Anyway, it says, by him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to the Most High continually and pray to, that is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name, And his name is not the Most High. His name is Yahweh. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai. It said, but to do good and to communicate, forget not. For with such sacrifices, the Most High is well pleased. 17 verse, obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourself, for they watch for your souls. Our job is to watch for your souls. Our job is not to give out, well, here's my number, brothers. Give it out to 1,000 brothers. If you need any problem, just give me a call. Guy gets stuck somewhere. He's 200 miles away from me. His car breaks down. It's 2 a.m. He calls me. I'm going to get up. Don't worry, brother. I'm going to come out and drive out and help you get back together. Then after I do that, somebody else calls. No, our job is not to fix your car, get your car running. Our job is not to set up a food stamp program or, give out food. Our job is to give you this truth. That's it. That's all we do. We give you this truth by way of the videos and out there speaking, which is the fulfillment of Ezekiel 37 and Revelation 11. And then there's other scriptures with that, Hosea 1, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, Judah and Israel were pressed together. Our job is to just tell you the truth and for the elect to come out of that. The elect is going to, and the elect are determined by what you were in the past. You can't just be an elect. If you were not a part of this ministry in the past, you're not going to be in it now. The ones you that come into this and endure to the end, you would there and get and become and get saved, delivered. You were the ones that did this in the past. Reincarnation is biblical. So I saw this video, and I forget the brother's name. I believe he says his name in the video. And I remember Judah Mack. And I listened to this video yesterday. It's 52 minutes long. And the brother, you can hear, look at his eyes, you know, hear him speak. The man was sincere. Unless he's a great actor, other than that, if he's not a great actor, the man was sincere. And he spoke about the reason why, and the name of the video is, and it's GMS Killer Kwam, which we don't know who this guy is. He's obviously not in GMS. Now, when you go to the comments, people see GMS is always taught. This guy is not a part of GMS. Anyway, it says IUIC member defects organization and denounces leadership. Now you have to watch this video, GMS Killer Kwam, GMS Killer Kwam, IUIC member defects organization and denounces leadership. Now I remember when they had a big council and they put it on YouTube. I don't know if it's still up on there. If anybody got it, they can throw it up and you can watch it. And I remember seeing him. He was on trial along with Judah Mack. And you can see in his face, he was angry, you know, and they browbeat these guys. And the main one, I believe, I don't know if Nathaniel Seven was there, but I do know that Kanai or Bishop Kanai was there. And he, we are father to you. He's browbeaten. So you gotta know how to be balanced. If a guy goes off, of course you get on him, you rebuke him, but you got to do it in balance, considering yourself. You know, could you have did this thing? You got to done this act or whatever. I don't remember the whole details of it, but shortly after, this brother right here, I heard his name before, I forget his name, Judah Mack, you know, basically said, we out of here, you know? And they basically made videos concerning, I guess this video, well, this goes back to 2018. So yeah, this is a video that he did, you know, after he left out. So this individual and Judah Mack, they still cool with each other and they teach here and there. What they should do is just go out and teach. You know, just go out and teach. Whatever they see, what they do in IUIC, they teach people that they're Israelite, which is a good thing. They just don't teach the 100% truth. But that's what y'all supposed to be doing. So IUIC is correct when they go out there and they just teach. They go into the scriptures, read about Esau, the Edomites, about Jake, you know, the tribes, the kingdom of heaven, the destruction. And one thing they don't teach is MOTB, in which the evidence is overwhelming about the MOTB. I put up a video the other day and I got it on Odyssey. If you go to Odyssey and you go to Hardbun Lawyer, the latest video that I did was a video that YouTube took down because I violated the policy dealing with the CDC and the WHO, the WHO, the World Health Organization, which they're part of the same, you know, the WHO is over the CDC. All right, they get their marching orders, they work, and like I said, the World Health Organization is over the CDC. And by the way, this whole thing with the Crown Vic was based on someone from the CDC, namely Fauci, Anthony Fauci, that said, you know, you got to get the juicy juice, jump shot, whatever you want to call it, you know, or you're going to die. That's that. And third, and he's not part of government. He's CDC is considered a NGO. NGO means non-government or non-governmental organization. You have organizations, major organizations that you think are part of the government. They're not a part of the government. They're non-governmental organizations. But whatever this guy said, at that time you had Trump in office, and Trump, you know, he refuted everything in the beginning. Then he kind of started coming around, and then Biden came in, and he pushed pretty much the same narrative. So they were taking their advice from a non-governmental agency, an NGO, as to what we're supposed to do. So, you know, anybody that says contrary is wrong, because they came to the fact that anything CDC says is a word of God almost. So the video that I did, I read an article, and I didn't say anything negative about the WHO or the CDC. I just read a snippet from an article, and then they took the shit down. Then I put it in the pill. They haven't got back to me yet. But you got to watch the video to watch the rest of the story. It's dealing with the MOTB, and we always putting the videos up on the MOTB. And the fulfillment of, you know, then it shall be known who am I chosen. Then you shall know there was a prophet among you. Those precepts are going to be fulfilled. You're going to find out who the true prophets are that teach, they have 100% truth. We have an unction from the Holy One, and we know all things. Anyway, let me get back into this. So I watched this whole video. I didn't want to watch it, but it, you know, it was intriguing. And I kept watching, and I realized, damn, I watched the whole video. But he was speaking from the heart, unless he's a great actor. Other than that, if he wasn't a great actor, he was speaking from the heart. And what I thought about was, I said, if this individual here and Judah Mack had got with the GMS Houston camp or the GMS Dallas camp, they would still be a part of those GMS camps. They would still be a part of them. As a matter of fact, they should get them and talk to them. So now when you watch this video, he basically spills the beans. Now you can say, well, I don't know if this guy's lying. I don't know if he's telling the truth. Okay, I'll go with that. But the stuff that he was saying, I was saying they did the same, he's explaining the same shit that they did to us back in the 90s with the Cornelius thing. And before the Cornelius thing came up, they had cliques, they had spies in our class, led by Nate and others, because I just can't say Bishop Nathaniel, but he was a part of that. He was part of that head. But they had guys sitting up in the class taking notes when me and Apostle Gabar was teaching. And then there was a point where they used to even come to the class to watch us because, yeah, they cut him and we were like explaining shit. And when they were there, they had nothing wrong to say, but they constantly had one, which we called him the California Raisin. He's probably dead right now. And then when the split came, anytime we set up a camp, these guys would set up a camp a block away. When we was down there on 34th Street, there was a so-called, before it was IUIC, there was a camp up the block, and somebody said, you know, there's a camp up there. And I went up there, and there was a California Raisin, because the nigga from California, and he looked like a raisin. And we rolled up on them, man. And they made a call, and I don't know who they called. I don't know if it's Yasha. You don't know Yasha. But they said, yeah, just pack up. So my thing is, wait a minute, man. I said, why are you setting up a camp up the street from where we at? And then when we was up in Harlem, we realized that they set up a camp down the block. So I said, what the hell, what the hell is going on? And prior to that, they said, oh, we don't got to go out no more. We don't got to go out on the streets no more. So the split came, they kicked us out. We went out, we taught the way we always did. And all of a sudden you see them out there. So it's a metal not with them that are given unto chains. All right. Anyway, then they had set up a website, you know, the Bishop Nathaniel and Yasha and Rahab and them, and they joined forces with the old Boston camp, which them two devils, Aram and Saadia. And they were at the council. I'm all over the place. They were at the Cornelius Council. By the way, the thing with the Cornelius Council was Cornelius is an Edomite. He's not an Israelite. So you know what we said? We said the scriptures say, the Apostle Paul said, I believe it's 1 Corinthians 6 chapter. As a matter of fact, I hadn't gone through this in a while. Let's see if I can bring it up. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, I'm almost positive. Okay, let me go to the okay, where is it? Bear with me for a minute. I hadn't brought this out in over 20 years. You know what, let me start from the first verse. Dare any of you having a matter against another go to law before the unjust, which is Esau. In other words, a brother is not supposed to sue a brother or sister in Esau's court, because you're supposed to have your own courts and not before the saints. Right, the saints, the Israelites. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And the saints are Israelites. And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? So when these guys came, when these two, this brother and Judah Mack, came before the council, they browbeat him. I remember seeing it. They browbeat him. You know, they shut him down. I'm your father, you know? And he mentioned a guy a lot. I don't know the whole backstory of the pocket thing. And this man, you know, with all that happening, you know, he quit the IUIC, but then he came back and he's back in his position. But this brother right here, he kept bringing up Kanai, man, and he said, "No, Kanai is a devil," you know. And I heard that from Judah Mack. You know, oh, he also mentioned Deacon Malachi, which is the Levite brother, the truck driver from Atlanta. Now, there's a video out that they kicked him out the congregation because of fornication. I don't know the whole backstory of that, you know. I don't know if it's true or not, but if that's the case, if you commit fornication, which is adultery, there's, you know, the penalty is, man, is death, but you can't do that now. You can't just kill people, you know, because you're under the Roman, you know, the new Roman rule. You know, when they wanted to, you know, kill the Lord, they had to go through Pontius Pilate, which he was a governor under the Caesar. So they had to go to the Romans to get the approval. Look, can we kill this guy under our law? And he can say, and what Pontius Pilate did, he said, I see nothing wrong with this. This is the Edomite. He said, I don't see nothing wrong with this. He did nothing wrong. He said, but you know what? I wash my hands of the whole matter, meaning it's on you. It's on you. All right. So coming back to this brother, like I said, if these brothers were a part of any of the GMS camps in Texas, they wouldn't be here doing the video. They'd be in harmony with them brothers. And if they fell off, they fell off because they were not of the elect. Okay. So let me see if I can find. Let me come back to this. Know ye not that ye shall judge angels? If 4th verse, if then ye have judged judgment of things pertaining to this life, set them to judge who are least esteemed in the church. Now, remember the account in Acts 6 with the Grecian women, which were Israelites, by the way, that knew that there was a difference between a Grecian and a Greek in the New Testament. A Grecian is a Israelite from Greece or outside of Israel who spoke a different language as their first language. This was the whole Acts the 2nd chapter is all about. But they knew that they were Israelites, and they came every year, well, 3 times out of the year, to Jerusalem, you know, for the Passover, the Tabernacles, and the Feast of Weeks. It says, "I speak to your shame. Is it so that there is not a wise man among you?" In other words, somebody that can judge a matter. And look, we have situations coming up all the time to us. I'm talking about myself, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rhymelab, and Apostle Ricard. Not necessarily in that order. A lot of times I'll say Rhymelab's name before Ricard because I'm always around those 2 apostles. You know, at this time, Apostle Ricard is in Texas. And basically he said, I'm living in Texas now. He ain't coming back he said, I ain't coming back to New York no time soon. He's out in Texas, you know? So if I mention Rhymelab's name before Ricard, because I'm always around these guys. It says, I speak to your shame. Yeah, because you're supposed to judge matters. And then you camps, you know, don't always bring matters to us. Hash it among yourself. You have a so-called leadership, right? So you straighten it out. If it's a small matter, you get together, you speak it out, you be fair about it, you know, balance and judgment, and then move on. You know, brothers call this, that, and the third, then we make a judgment. Look, this, that, and the other, with the boom, boom, bap, bap, boom, and let's move on, and everything's cool. All right. It says, I speak to your shame. Is it so that there is not a wise man among you? No, not one that shall be able to judge between his brethren. You're gonna run into the white man. And a lot of these niggas, I call them, that leave the different Israelite camps, they run right to this guy, Vocab Malone. What kind of madness is that? Okay, 7 verse is a key verse. But brother goeth to brother, to law with brother, meaning I'm gonna sue you in court. And that before the unbelievers. Now, what did he say that? He's talking about Edomites and he's talking about Jake, because you had Jakes in high positions in Rome. You had Jake centurions. You know, you had Jakes that had high positions that were doing well, rubbing elbows with the Edomite Romans. Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law one with another. Why do ye not rather take wrong? Why do ye not rather suffer yourself to be defrauded? So that's what happened. That's in our case, with going back to the Cornelius Council. You know what I said? I said, you know what? We won't teach it. And now the reason why I said that, it was spiritual, because if we say we're not going to teach it, people are going to talk about it. You know, they're going to wonder, when is the heart going to bring it back up? So it's going to be in the air. So it's going to come back up anyway. So I said, well, we won't teach it. And they had a problem. Yeah, but is it in your mind? That's what they said. That they made us. Somebody made that wicked. I believe it was Yasha. He made that wicked statement. But is it in your mind? Look, if I see a woman with a fat ass, and I found out she's married to that brother, oh brother, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was your woman. Blah blah blah. But he might say, but is it in your mind? Yeah, it's in my mind. I saw a fat ass. Is in my mind. You know, I can't take it out of my mind. So they were basically wanted us to say Cornelius is an Edomite. He's not a Israelite. And take that other nonsense out of your mind. Now jump to the future. Years later, all these guys that kicked this out are now teaching that Cornelius is an Israelite. Check that out. Oh, the irony. Check that out. What was I going to say? Oh, another thing I said, okay, I had a scriptural solution. I said, let's cast a lot. And I remember at that time, Nathaniel, which is Bishop Nathaniel, he said, no, you can't do that because that's wicked, Tahar. And I have all the, by the way, almost all of the brothers, or at least one brother died that was among us, but he was up in age. He died years ago, but he fell out anyway. But he wound up dropping dead. That nigga wound up dropping dead. Anyway, and he was behind, he was doing secret deals with them anyway, so fuck him. But he's good now. Anyway, the majority of the guys that are still down, you know, the bishops of Connecticut, they were there. Apostle Ricard was there, Apostle Gabar was there, Apostle Ramla was there. Now there's others that have kind of fallen out, but we still know them. And guess what? If we say, look, we need you as a, oh yeah, I'll be a witness, you know? Anyway, so they were there when he said that. Now, Bishop Nathaniel's witnesses are not there because all those guys fell out the truth. All those guys were back with Nathaniel, all them guys fell out the truth, all of them. You had a bunch of guys up in there, they all fell out the truth. Oh, you know who was at that council? Priest Bunlawyer, which he had passed. He had a heart condition, but he was cool with us after the fact. But he came up against us on the Cornelius thing, and me and him kind of got into a little debate. And I pulled out one scripture, and he shut up. And then King Marshall said, Bunlawyer, Tahar is making you look like a baby. And I remember that. Anyway, it was wicked that what they did. It was complete wickedness in how they set up this whole, you know, the Cornelius thing, or another thing before that, before the Cornelius thing, council came up. Every week they had a council, so we couldn't even go out and speak. We would get the signs ready to go out and speak. That time we was in Connecticut, and oh, you can't speak. We're gonna have a special council. So we went down there. It was some bullshit. You know, they changed a lot of things. Then the next week we getting ready to go. Oh, there's an emergency council. Every week there was an emergency council. I said, this is bullshit. I said, we're not able to go out there and speak. Because guess what? They wasn't going out there and speak. They didn't want to speak no more. Now tell me if I'm lying, Bishop Nathaniel. These guys wasn't going out. And then eventually the Cornelius Council came up, and we took low, okay, as it says in the 7th verse, 1 Corinthians 6, verse 7, we took low, and we said, oh, we won't teach it no more. Oh, cast a lot. And when you the scripture, when Matthias became one of the 12, replaced Judas Iscariot, that was done by a casting of a lot. That's Acts, the first chapter. So anyway, that was a wicked counsel. And what happened was, to show you that the Most High was with us, they said, they tried to punish us. They said, okay, now you're going to have to come to the Sabbath morning classes. And that would start at 6 in the morning. So that was a punishment. You got to come to the Sabbath morning class, 6 o'clock. So I said, that's a punishment, man, which is wicked as hell. And you know what I said? I said, I ain't got no problem with that. Like anything that they said, I got no problem with it, you know? So then they came to this old fucking black Billy Goat nigga that's in the spiritual realm. And if there was a hell, he should be in it. This nigga, a mafia, this demonic black devil. All right. And I saw him when he was in his deathbed. The brother said, look, you pray for the brother. I said, yeah, I'll pray for the brother. I pray that the Most High destroy his black ass. You know? They had a judgment written for us. Now we humble ourselves. But let's read the judgment. And they read the judgment, you know, that we can't teach the classes no more. We can't do this. We can't do that. And then going back to the classes, it was myself, Apostle Gabar, and I forget the brother's name. We call him Zombie Bond, son of the zombie. We gave him a nickname. And King Mashar said, okay, you get the first hour, you get the second hour, you get the third hour, right? This guy never came. He never showed up. Never came there. He never taught one class until the class got packed. And when the class got packed, then he said, look, this is why I'm part of this too. I'm part of the teaching. But I said, well, wait a minute, man. You ain't never came. You ain't never, you ain't never did one class. Whether it be a whole year, you ain't never came to one class. All of a sudden, now there's a packed standing room only. You want to come to do the class now? So he was wicked as hell, and that nigga fell off too. Zombie Bond. If y'all remember his real name, give me his real name. But one time, years ago, he was out there on 34th Street, long before YouTube. He had walked down the street and he saw us teaching, and they said his name, and he went to running down the street. Okay, let me see. Okay, so we was up at the class. We had a special meeting on a Sunday. Normally we meet on Saturdays, go out and teach. We had a special gathering on Sunday, and they came up because they figured I was going to be there, and they were going to take over the school. Oh yeah, the thing was, we're taking over the school up in Connecticut because they don't need a leader. But then they turned around and put their leader, but this guy's be the leader. I said, this is, and then I made a statement. I said, this was when Justice Thomas, he said, this is a high-tech lynching. So I said, this is a high-tech lynching. And everybody started laughing, right? Because they knew the wickedness that they were doing. So anyway, they kicked us out. Look, just kick them out. We don't want to deal with them. Don't even pray for them. Let's kick them out. So, we got together and we called a fast, a Day of Atonement type fast. And that's when they came up, and they got lost coming up there. And Asha used to be able to come up there all the time. Me and him used to come up there all the time. How the hell can you get lost? So they rolled up, and that's when this nigga, this guy, priest Yum, there was that Barak. You got Barak, and then you got Yum, I think it's Yum is his name. Damn. But anyway, we used to call him Toothpick Jones and Gangster Ben. Yeah, Ben, Priest Ben. He's on the HODC breaking down scriptures wrong. And he came like a tough guy. So all of a sudden, this guy is hard. And they came up in a gangster demonic way, basically trying to get us to come back to school. They said, okay, we're gonna let you back into school. And I basically told them, I said, look, I said, don't call us, we'll call you. You know what that means, you know? And they left and never came back. And they didn't realize that we were on a Day of Atonement type fast. We were fasting on that day. And then, you know, it went from there. We found out that that school became what they call a reservoir of dogs. So all those schools split up. All of them went their own separate ways. That's why Nathaniel Oligar, Bishop Nathaniel, had to set up the IUIC back in, 2003, I think it was, something like that. They went on YouTube. Oh, and by the way, when Bishop Nathaniel Oligar put up his YouTube page, there was a comment section. He wasn't even answering questions. We used to go on his page and answer people's questions, man. And what he used to do was, if y'all remember, he used to put up a 10-minute video, and before the fancy garments, and then the video would stop. And then people would say, where's the rest of the video? Then he would give you a website. If you want the rest of the video, you got to purchase these DVDs, you know? There's the different breakdowns. You know what messed up his money on that? When we were breaking everything down for free. It said, freely it has been given, freely give, all right? The only time money comes involved if they're supporting you. But you're not gonna put a price, well, look, I'll break down Revelation 11, but that's $110 breakdown. No, we ain't gonna do that, man. We teach out on the streets. You know, we do these breakdowns. We did all the breakdowns, all the hermeneutics, as they call it. Look that up. It's all on YouTube, man. When you go back to 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 14, 15. We did all those deep breakdowns, man. We covered all of them. Daniel 7, Daniel 2. We covered all of them. Revelation 11, Revelation 13. We broke down all of them, and we still breaking it down because people forget. So anyway, let's jump to this brother. He basically got in contact with Bishop Nathaniel, and he said that Bishop Nathaniel is going to work with him, but then Bishop Nathaniel basically stabbed him in the back. And he mentioned certain other guys that he was cool with that basically stabbed him in the back. They were cool one day, and the next day, here this guy coming against you in council. He's saying, well, brother, we was cool. All of a sudden, you know. Oh, then they would say, there's one brother, he said he got to write you up. He said, I know that you're right, but I got to write you up anyway. Well, then that's not applying judgment, man. You see that that there's an injustice going on, but I gotta write you up anyway. Then he says the way you get ranked is basically you kiss enough ass, you get ranked. Okay. And he said he spoke about the 800-man march. He said most of them guys are scared. They're just scared because they figured when they leave. Oh, even this guy Asaph, he said if you leave IUIC, you're blotted out of the book of life. He said even if you go to another camp, you're blotted out of the book of life. So what are they saying? They're saying that the Most High is only dealing with the IUIC. And I believe he puts that up in his video. Matter of fact, let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. Give me a second. I don't want that one. Bear with me for a minute. And like I said, he mentioned Deacon Malachi, the Levite from Atlanta, the truck driver. that he cursed him out about something. And he mentioned, oh, he tore into Bishop Kanai. He basically called, damn near called him the devil. Let me see something. Okay, I don't know if this is on this particular. Bear with me for a minute, please forgive me. Okay, it's not on this one. But anyway, let me let you hear. Like I said, I'm gonna say it again. If these guys were part of any of the GMS camps in Texas, they wouldn't have had this problem. So he said, before he showed the phone, he said, you know, in order for you to get rank, you got to kiss ass. So he said he gonna prove it. So this guy, I forget his name. He says, how do you get rank? How do you, you know, improve in ranking? So this is what he said. I hope you can hear it. Let me bring that back. This is why anything the heads say, they just go with it. You know, when Bishop Nathaniel said the time of Jacob trouble is not going to happen, they just went with it because they want to get that rank. They want to be in good standing with the heads. He said Christ, they had a meeting saying we're going to call on Christ. We're not going to say the Most High's true name. Then all of a sudden Nate does it. Oh, and by the way, Nate is back in the hospital. We don't know what for, but he's back in the hospital. He did a video that he's back in the hospital. Now the Most High could bring his ass back down again because he's being wicked right now. He's trying to get out. He's trying to do the right thing, but you got to come full circle. Let's listen to that again. I hope you heard it. He said, let the leadership think for you. So whatever, so these guys are definitely not at the church of Berea. All right. They check behind what the Apostle Paul said. He said, don't make no decisions on your own. He said, let the leadership think for you. So guess what? If Bishop Nate truly humbles down and says the MOTB is what GMS been saying all along, they're correct, the whole congregation will see it because you know what? Like he said, let the leadership think for you. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. I think I said enough.